Hi everyone, this is the 2018 practice booklet for the ACT, and these are problems 17 through 23. So if you just want a specific problem, you can scroll through. This first one says, what is the slope of the line given by 4x equals 7y plus 5? So I'm just going to go ahead and write this in slope-intercept form. Subtract the 5 from both sides, and then divide everything by 7. 7, 7, 7. That cancels. The slope is the number in front of the x, so your slope is 4 over 7. Right? We're trying to go fast on these. Now this one, it says, for which of the following conditions will the sum of integers m and n always be an odd integer? So that basically they're saying m plus n has to be odd. And an odd integer would be something like 2n plus 1. Because any number you put in there, n, if you add 1, it's going to be odd, because 2 times the number. Well, basically, if you have, I would just try numbers out. If you have an odd and you add another odd, that's going to be even. So basically the first two don't work because you don't know what this, it just says if m is odd or n is odd. If they're both odd, you get even. If they're both even, you definitely get even. So they have to be separate. So you have to have a 3, you have to have something like this, 3 plus 2, or 5, that's odd, plus 4, and that always gives you an odd number. So the answer is K. So you can think about it in different ways. Okay. This one, we're going to have to use the Pythagorean Theorem. So we have 24 squared plus 32 squared equals and 1600. So that's c squared. So c equals the square root of 1600. You don't have to do the calculator. Square root of 16 is 4. And you have hundreds, so that's just going to be 40. So c is 40. And they want the midpoint halfway between that, so you just divide that by 2. So your midpoint equals 40 divided by 2, which is 20. The answer is B. The next one, what I did is I went ahead and drew a picture of this. I drew some random generic triangle, and triangle DEF. So DE, so I'll call this D and this E, is square root of 30, and EF is 3, and it says what is the length of DF? And you can't determine it because if you're going to have two sides like this, you have to also have an angle. You have to have at least three knowns, so you can use the law of sines or law of cosines. So that is K. Alright, next. This is your surface area type problem. Laura plans to paint an 8-foot high rectangular walls, and she needs to know the area of the wall surface to be painted. 2 walls are 10 feet, so that's going to be 10 by 8. The other 2 walls are 15 and then by 8. So I'm just using these numbers here. Okay, so we're going to add these two up. So we have 2 times 60, which is 180. And then we have this one, which is just 16 times 15. I went ahead and just multiplied those two. And you get 240. This is sorry, this is 2 times 80, which is 160. Sorry about that. And this one is 240. So if you're going too fast, you might pick the answer E, but it also says the combined area of the one window and the one door, which she's not painting, is 60 square feet. So we're going to have to subtract the 60, and when you get that, you get 340 square feet. Okay, the next one, the length of a rectangle is 5 longer than the width. And the perimeter we know is 2L plus 2W. And our perimeter happens to be 40. So I'm substituting my P for 40. And I have my L. My L is W plus 5. So let's simplify that. You get 40 equals 2W plus 10 plus 2W. Then we'll subtract 10 from both sides, and I get 30 equals 4W. So W equals 30 divided by 4, which equals 15 divided by 2. And we know 2 goes into 15 7 times, with 1 left over, so that's 7 1/2. So the answer is F. And the last one I'm just going to read across. So the last one is just 8%. You need to know how to write that as a decimal. 8% of means times, is means equal, 1/5 of what number? You can put N or X. And what I'm going to do is just multiply both sides by 5, which will cancel this one out. 5 times 60 is 300, so we're basically taking 8% of 300, and that equals 24. And that's your final answer. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.